Hey guys, this is Rob from RM Commodity Trading Advisors. Got a question from a financial advisor that's been in the business for a while as why I like my clients to pay off their debts before they do any type of savings or retirement savings. So I just wanted to walk you through a real case example. This, I've taken away any personal information, but we're just going to call him Mark and Joyce. Mark was 37. Joyce is 35. They wanted to retire when they're 65 years old. They have three kids. They didn't currently have any college savings, but we wanted to concentrate on reducing their debts, and we're going to show you how that actually increased their retirement savings. So when we take a look at their current retirement planning, they currently had $36,500 in their 401ks at work. Now, combined, they were putting $300 a month into their current savings. So we're going to show them a plan side by side that's only doing the $300 a month. So when we put something together, we're not asking for any more money. We're just going to be using the same amount of money that they're spending right now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this together for 30 years. Now, over 30 years, we're going to increase their current savings by 5% annual interest rate, and they are in the 25% income tax bracket. So after 30 years, you will notice that they have $408,000, which is a very good start. Now, when you think about it, since this is in something that is that's tax deferred, we need to take taxes out when we take it out. So they're in the 25% income tax bracket. So they'll only be able to use $306,000. So in 30 years, they're going to have $306,000 of retirement savings. Now, when we take a look at the type of savings they would have by paying off their debts first over the next 30 years, we'll notice that these were their current debts. We had over $2,000 going out in their current payments. What I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video and take a look at this, because you'll notice that these are very typical bills going out. If you take a look at yours, you're probably going to be very close to what Mark and Joyce were paying out. They were paying out over $2,000 a month. And what we're going to try and do is, as we pay off these debts, this brings in another $2,000 a month into their monthly cash flow that they could use to either save and pay down debts. That's our first area we looked at. The second thing is that they have $179,000 in debts. That's what the combined is. And we're looking at about 10% average interest when you look at that. So when we put together their plan to work out their numbers, over that same 30-year period, it was going to take them 29.5 years to get out of debt. So their original debt was $179,000, but we know that they have to pay $374,000 in debt over that 30-year period. So that is actually increasing by $195,000 in the interest that they need to pay. So this is what we're trying to recapture and put back into Mark and Joyce's pocket. So now, when we take a look at what we did, now we used the same $300, but we got them out of debt in 8 years. Now, we know that the old snowball effect that we've been taught, that you pay off your lowest account and then you use the money that you're putting there and you put it on the next account so it pays it off quicker. Now, we all know that doing this will help us get out of debt quicker, but realistically, think about, a lot of people don't do it because when they give that money to Visa, and if they pay extra to their home or on their auto, if something comes up and they need to access that money, they can't call their mortgage company and say, hey, can you send me back the overpayments that I sent you? So we know someone, even though it's 8 years, we know we'll save $116,000, but people don't want to overpay their debts in fear that they might need that money. So what we do is, the way that we set up the savings account, As you are building the accounts to pay off each account, we have it just in this savings account that you can access from day one. So if there's any emergencies that come up, you could actually use it. Now, what we like to do is we save enough to pay off the lowest account value, but then also we like to leave an extra $3,000 or $4,000 in there just to have emergencies. So you want to have emergencies savings in there to be paying it down, because as you're paying down debt, you want to make sure you have that emergency savings, because if you're paying down debts without that emergency savings, if something comes up, it's going to throw you off track right away. Also, this takes 8 years to get out of debt because we have the largest portion is in the home. But what I want you to realize is that we have over $800 or $900 of cash flow that we're going to free up in the next 2 years or so. That Mark and Joyce is going to have another $900 a month that they could utilize in their monthly cash flow, and that helps them with their current living today, and then helping them pay off the rest of the loans that much quicker. So, like we said, we're going at the end of 8 years, we're going to free up over $2,000, but in 2 years, you have over a $900 a month increase that you could use. So the same thing without changing what they're currently spending, we have over $1 million in savings. So when you take a look at the difference, what they're currently doing with their $300 is they have $306,000 that they could use after they pay taxes. Well, using our plan, now it's still the same $300, but they have over $1 million to be accessing for their retirement. So you can see that actually increased their retirements. So everyone wants to know what's the cost. Well, we know it doesn't cost you anything for us to put this together or even for you to implement this. So this is not real sexy. When you talk to your advisor, your financial advisor, he's not going to want you to do this because he doesn't get paid to be paying off your debts. And then also, your banker's not going to want you to pay off your debts quicker, because then the bank isn't making that interest, and that's how the banks make the money, is by keeping you in debt longer. But there is a cost. So you can see from Mark and Joyce, it costs them over $1 million in their retirement, because without doing the proper planning, it cost them over $1 million. Also, it cost them over $116,000 in interest that they should have saved if they didn't do the proper planning. So it actually cost them over $1.2 million in their current plan. So when we take a look at this, there's no cost to put this stuff together. So anything we put together for your plan, there is no cost for it. Also, we're going to set it up where it's the same money that you're spending now. So we're not going to ask for any more money to implement the plan. We're just going to use the same amount of money. So if we could show you a way to get out of debt in 9 years or less, and now that is including your mortgage, without spending any additional money than you are right now, why wouldn't you do it? And that's what Mark and Joyce felt also. They're like, we have to do this. So what the next step is we would need to get together just for a couple of minutes to get your information so we can run this plan for you. Now, we don't need any personal information. You know, we don't need account numbers or social security numbers or anything. All we need is the account values and what type of accounts it is. This way we could help you with adjusting it in the way that you want to adjust it for tax purposes, also how you want to adjust it for a better cash flow, and making sure that we're getting the best and safest return that we can for you. So the way you could get in touch with me is by phone is 352-678-1595, or you could also drop me an email at the Robert Matarazzo CTA at gmail.com. If you just want to leave a message and let us know a good day and time that we could get together, normally we'll need like maybe about a half an hour to just review the rest of the stuff that you might have concerns on, and what we could do for you. But hopefully this was helpful. Go ahead and write out any questions that you have, and hopefully we hear from you soon. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.